Hey there, welcome to Abundant Source Raw. I am walking this morning to the greenhouse to do a little bit of work. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about communication and a little bit about what I've learned from it and kind of some experiences that I'd like to share. And I don't really know what I'm going to be getting into totally, so I just felt inspired to talk about it. And one of the reasons is I just got back from a weekend retreat, a authentic relating retreat, where I just went to it was near Austin, Texas, and just a bunch of people getting together for the weekend and authentically relating. And it's a really big thing in Austin and Dallas and Houston, and those big Texas areas, and there's definitely plenty of other places that are into authentic relating games and practices such as circling. Most people have never heard of it, but it's one of the most amazing practices for communication and openness that I've come across. And so it was an amazing retreat, deeply connected with a bunch of people. And you just get to meet a lot of conscious, amazing, open people at these places. And so it was really good. But I wanted to talk a little bit about authentic relating and circling and communication, because it's just something that I've been involved with a lot lately. And so I want to share what it's done for me and what it could possibly do for you, and how it's just helped my growth tremendously. Because I believe that open and honest communication is probably the scariest thing on the planet for most people. And it definitely was for me, and this was the area that I struggled with the most growing up and developing myself, was open, honest communication. I've always been truthful, and I've never lied really about pretty much anything. There's probably only been a few times in my life where I've actually really lied to somebody's face. But I'll always speak the truth if somebody asks me a question, unless I just tell them that I don't want to answer it. But I did used to withhold a ton of information. I used to be afraid of telling it, and although I would typically say it if somebody asked, I would, be afraid to just let it out no matter what, and be okay with what people were gonna think about it and how I thought about myself when thinking about it. It's a really scary thing, and for most people, and it definitely was for me. And the first time that I was introduced to any sort of authentic relating type of game that I knew about, and it was circling, was actually at the Woodstock Fruit Festival. There was last year, 2016, there was a circling activity that was hosted by Anna Gilmore, who lives in Austin and is a big part of the authentic relating and circling community. And that was such a powerful experience the first time I circled. And circling is a little hard to explain, but it's basically just you get in a circle with a group of people, and there's no real structure behind it. You're just all kind of in the moment and feeling what's coming up for you right in the moment, and just being open and honest and communicating how you're feeling, as the best to your ability, and then kind of reflecting off of the feelings of others, and kind of everybody's just talking about what's coming up for them and how they're truly feeling in the moment with each other. And we're all just kind of reflecting off of each other, and it is an amazing practice. And as I started learning more about chakras and all that, I just realized that my throat chakra had been closed for so long, and I never gave it much attention, and it was creating problems like thyroid issues, things like that, because it is intimately connected with, you know, all the chakras are connected with the endocrine system and all those glands. And so if one of your chakras is out of balance, then you're most likely going to develop symptoms in that area of the body and in those glands, and you're going to have imbalances in the hormones and things like that. So it's pretty crazy that just withholding information and not being able to speak openly and honestly can really manifest these physical diseases and things like that. And I feel so grateful for authentic relating and circling, and ecstatic dance is typically a big, you know, sort of intertwined thing that a lot of authentic relators go to, and that's another form of amazing expression and openness, and really helps to open up, you know, your honesty and communication and that feeling of freedom. But it's amazing because I just feel like such a fearlessly open and honest communicator now, and I feel like I have worked through so much of pretty much everything that has been stuck inside me and felt like it's held me back. And yeah, it was just the first time I circled, it's like something just totally cracked open inside me, and it came with me everywhere I went. Weeks after the festival had ended, it was like I still had this amazing feeling of openness and honest communication, even way after the festival ended, because of that one circling activity. And it was such a good feeling. So I got really into it, and recently I've been just doing a lot of they do like weekly games and circles and ecstatic dance in like Dallas and in Austin, so I've been going to a lot of that. And I feel like it's benefited me so much, because it was the area in my life where I was struggling the most, and I feel like most people are probably struggling the most in this area. There's so much fear in honestly communicating and being authentic. It really scares people to dive into themselves and discover what's actually there inside of them, and it's scary to face these things, which of course we all pretty much have to if we want to get to you know, a point of freedom and feeling joyful and have that amazing bliss that we all want to have. And although I do believe it's possible to drop all of it instantly and to have a feeling of peacefulness and joy pretty much right away, no matter your circumstance, I don't believe most people feel capable of that. And so most people are going to have to go through and face these things before they can reach such a high level. And I feel so grateful that it feels like I've worked through pretty much everything in my life. There's nothing that I'm consciously aware of that feels like it's holding me back. I feel like I have released, forgiven, accepted everything that has, you know, maybe been like traumatic, or, you know, just something that's been locked up inside me. I've gone very deep into all that, and really released everything that I know of. And so I just have this feeling of peace and contentment pretty much all the time. And of course I do still go out of balance sometimes, but it's never from anything in the past. It's always something that's like in the moment that has maybe caught me off guard. And so I'm like maybe a little distraught for a little bit, you know, maybe for one day at the most. But I realize right away what's happening. I realize right away that, you know, it's nothing. And then I forgive and accept myself straight away, and then it's typically gone. And if it's something that really hit me pretty hard, then sometimes it just won't go away until I sleep it off and wake up the next morning, and I accept that as well. But I haven't had anything disturbing that has put me out of balance for more than like a day. in a long time. And yeah, I really just wanted to make this video to bring some awareness to the practices of authentic relating and circling. And I think that it would be a good idea if you are in a larger city to look up and see if you have authentic relating games or circling in your area. Typically through like a Facebook group, you can just type in your city and then authentic relating or circling, or maybe go to like meetup.com. Sometimes we'll have them posted on there, because I think it's such an amazing practice and it has benefited my life tremendously, and I feel so much more open and honest and at peace. And I've also found that my energy is so much higher when I'm around other people. I used to think that I needed to be alone to be centered, and that you know, when I'm meditating by myself, like in a room, quiet and, you know, with myself, is when I would be able to reach my highest potential of energy. But now I feel like people give me so much more energy, and being around other people boosts my energy to a level that would take me so long for me to reach on my own. And that the most enlightening experience I've ever had was from circling. And I know it was a long video, but I kind of wanted to express this experience that I had while I was circling once in Dallas. It was the highest experience that I've ever had of awareness, and nothing else has ever come close to this, and it was amazing. I just after circling for a while, and just there was so much energy in the room, and I was so filled with energy. You know, at one point I just totally, pretty much completely did not even realize I had a body anymore. Like, my body was I wasn't even hardly aware of it at all, and I just felt like pure energy, and not just energy that was like built up in a part of my body or something. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I've got so much energy in my heart or like surrounding my body. It was like my body was gone and I was just the energy of everything in the room. And it was so interesting because people were talking constantly, you know, giving their feelings and telling what was coming up for them, and I could not understand any of it. It was like they were speaking a foreign language. The words had no meaning at all to me. I could only feel the energy of everybody, and I could feel the energy of the words, but the words made absolutely no sense to me. I couldn't, my awareness could not grasp anything that anybody was saying. And yeah, it was the highest form of energy that I had ever experienced. So yeah, it was the most blissful thing that I have yet to experience, and it happened when I was in a big group of other people with incredible energy, who were openly and honestly expressing themselves and wanting to become more conscious, and it was so powerful. So I highly recommend going on Facebook or Meetup and checking to see if you have any of these communities in your area, and if you do, I highly recommend going to them, or even traveling to somewhere that does have them, such as Texas somewhere. Austin has probably one of the best authentic relating and circling communities, and Dallas as well. They're amazing. I guess those are the only two places that I've actually done it, but yeah, it's just a really big hub for authentic relating, and so I highly suggest doing it at least once in your life. And I know what it's done for me, and I think that it will really benefit you as well, and opening yourself up and just being totally fearless and getting down to the root cause of things and expressing what's really going on, so that way you can get it up and out. So that's going to be it for this video. Just wanted to share that with y'all, and I will talk with you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.